Hi, this is Gerald from frontendaudio.com, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Mackie Onyx 820i. The Onyx 820i is the smallest mixer in the series. There's the 820, the 1220, the 1620, and the 1640i series mixers. One of the main points about these mixers that Mackie has been trying to push is the fact that they're compatible with Pro Tools Empowered. After you purchase the mixer, you log on to Mackie.com and you register your product with them. After you've registered your product with Mackie, you'll be prompted to buy the Mackie Universal drivers, and what those drivers do is allow this interface to be recognized by Pro Tools Empowered, whereas in the past there wasn't any piece of hardware or interface that could be used with Pro Tools LE for that matter, or Pro Tools Empowered, unless it was an M-Audio interface or a DigiDesign interface. So a good thing about that is this is, going to get a lot of new people, I think, getting into the world of Pro Tools because they're not restricted to buying just a Digi piece or M-Audio piece. On the front of the unit here, we've got 3 Onyx Mic Preamps. The Onyx Mic Preamps have a really good quality. I use these to record some vocals, some guitars, and they're just a real clean, transparent, open sounding preamp. There's not a lot of coloration that it adds to the sound. It's pretty true to the sound source, and it gives you a good signal coming out. The gain on it, you've got 60 dB, a clean gain on here, so it's not hard to get a good signal coming out of whatever microphone it is that you've got hooked up to these pre's. On channels 1 and 2, you've got line microphone inputs, and 3-4 is a hybrid channel. It's only got one mic pre, but if you plug into this mic pre, it's gonna split the signal equally onto channels 3 and channel 4 in your DAW. Beneath that, you've got your inserts on channel 1 and 2, and also your line level inputs as well. The inserts could be used if you want to add a compressor or EQ to the signal. You've got EQ on the board already, but if you've got an outboard EQ that you want to use, you can just insert that in on channels 1 or 2. Beneath the line level inputs, you've got your high Z for direct connect of guitars. Those are only on channels 1 and 2, however, though, so if you're going to want to connect that to another channel, or if you have more than 2 guitars that need to be inserted here, you'll need to have a DI box in order for that to really get the full quality of that. You'll lose a lot of your high frequency content if you're not using a DI box or don't have the high Z button engaged. Below that, you've got your high pass filter and your 48 volt phantom power. 48 volt is on channels 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's not just one phantom power for all the mic channels, which is good if you've got a different array of mics plugged in that don't all require phantom power, such as ribbon mics. And the high pass filter cuts off frequencies below 75 hertz. And beneath that, you've got your gain knobs for all the channels. There's also pre and post fader buttons for the EQ, so if you want to send your signal in dry, if you're using this for a live sound use, if you want to send your signal into your computer dry for your recording but have the EQ sent out to your band members, you'd have that as pre or post if you want to send the EQ'd signal into the computer. The EQ on here is the Mackay Perkins Eq, which you're probably familiar with. It's a really musical sounding EQ. When I was recording vocals in, I just boosted the highs just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of extra sheen, and, cut the lows out just to get rid of any rumble. Also, I always try and have the high pass filter on, cut the lows out just a little bit if I'm recording vocals in. Channels 1 and 2 have a 3-band EQ. You've got the high band is set to 12K. The mid band is a sweepable frequency from 8K to 100 hertz. And the low band is set to 80 hertz. On channels 3 and 4, you've got a 4-band EQ. The high band again is set to 12K. The mid band is 2.5, and the low mid is 400 hertz. And the low cut is set to 80 hertz. And channels 5, 6, and 7, and 8 have a 3-band EQ, and that 3-band EQ, the high is still the same there at 12K. The mid band is set to 2.5, and the low band is set to 80 hertz. Beneath that, you've got your aux section. You've got 2 aux sends on each channel. your aux send connections are right here. The Mackie Onyx I series mixers are set up to accept balanced or unbalanced signals. So there's sends 1 and 2, and then your returns, stereo returns right here as well. Each channel also has a pan knob on it as well. And at the bottom, you'll notice that this mixer doesn't have faders. It's just got knobs for your level control for each channel, which I didn't find myself missing the faders that much. You know, it's not something that you're gonna, you know, really be wishing you had, I don't think. If you're gonna be doing any kind of live sound use for this, I would recommend getting the 1220i just so you'd have the extra inputs. I was mostly using this as an interface, a front end for Pro Tools, just for home recording. But you know, if you're going to be using this for live sound, you might want to think about going up to the 1220i or maybe the 1620 even. Again, here on the top of the unit, you've got your 1/4-inch main outs. You've also got tape in and out for hooking up this CD or DVD player or your iPod docking station. And there's also your headphone output right here as well. Down here at the bottom, you've got your Talkback mic and the level for that right here. The Talkback mic is an omnidirectional mic. Depending on where you've got the destination set, you can either have aux 1 and 2 sends, have the Talkback mic sent out to what you've got hooked into your sends in aux 1 and 2. And there's also the headphone out. You can have the destination be set to there. So if you've got someone, you know, if you've got aux send 1 and 2 being sent to a headphone amplifier inside the studio, and you've got the different bandmates, you know, all hooked up to that headphone amp. When you press the talkback button, it'll attenuate if there's any kind of signal already being played back. It'll attenuate that signal, and you'll be able to talk to them through their headphones. So it's a really good option right there. Right here is your main mix knob. Main mix knob controls the level of the main mix. Above that, you've got your auxiliary master section right here. You've also got pre and post fader buttons as well for the aux master. Right here, this return to aux 1, what this will do is if you've got, say, your aux 1 is going to a set of stage monitors, and then you've got the return to aux 1 button depressed, what that's going to do if you've got, say, a reverb or a certain type of effect set up on aux send 2, having that depressed is going to send that effect to aux send 1, so it'll get sent back out to the stage monitors without having to change the level on that. On the rear of the unit, you've got your AC power supply right here and your power on-off switch. Next to that, you've got 2 FireWire outputs for daisy chaining units together and for direct connection to your PC or Mac. Next to that, we've got the main outputs. The main outputs on the rear are balanced XLR, and they're also duplicated on the face of the unit as balanced, unbalanced TRS outputs. And then right underneath that, you've got your main output level. It's recessed so that it doesn't accidentally get pressed in. But what that's going to do is when it's at plus 4 dB, it sends the main outputs as a line level signal. And when it's pressed in, it's going to switch the output level to a mic level signal so that this can be hooked up to a snake or be sent to a front of house mix board so that you could have this on stage with you as a mini mixer or to get some sub mixes going on. Right next to that, you've got your control room output to send a mix into a control room, and you've got your alt 3 and 4 outputs as well if you want to send it to a recorder or any type of line input device. But overall, I think it's a really solid mixer. So for more information on the Mackie Onyx 820i and for all your pro audio needs, check us out online at www.frontendaudio.com. Thanks.